And we're back with Do It For The Story Radio. This is officially After Party 2G, according to my Instagram. Ryan Navarro across from me. And it's the first show we've recorded, like, late at night.
I like the late night vibes, to be honest.
Yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube, the aesthetic is something very special right now.
Good lighting, honestly.
Great lighting. Oh, we have a guest again, by the way.
Hello.
Arianna. Melina.
Yes.
Said that right? She's here for episode 11. We're going to talk about something fucking nuts.
That she started.
We came across in Belmar that she started. I had to get her on because she started it. And we'll get into it. Episode 11, here we go. Alright, everybody shot.
Just do it.
I don't care about work tomorrow. Do it for the memory.
Do it.
Do it for me.
Yeah.
Do it for the story.
Alright, that was hot.
Do it for the story.
Alright, episode 11. Here we are. Fuck. Did you think we get to 11, Ryan?
Yeah.
You thought we got here?
Yeah, not this quick, but yeah.
I'll do 100 more.
Okay.
So, actually, we're doing this at night because me and Ryan went home for a little bit. We had a detox.
For once.
From the weekend.
Yeah.
The alcohol just was too much.
I don't think I was ready to come back, but you insisted.
Yeah, you can't stay away too long. I get the jitters. I was walking around my house, whatever.
You had the tick.
Nah. We got water for 4th of July weekend, which is going to be crazy. I can't wait to tell the stories of the week. We're holding back on some stories.
We have to.
Eventually we'll get there.
We can't even spill the details of what's coming up this weekend.
The 4th of July, never mind. Anyway, Arianna's here.
Yes.
And we have a huge topic that we need to cover. It was told to me, I guess in DJs more in detail, where it was really like made me interested in learning more, I guess. I feel like people should hear this. And we said on last episode sort of how girls have these rosters, but her roster is a little more in detail. And I mean, you could sort of just take it away from there.
Okay, so just for like the record, I didn't remember telling you this at all. Like literally at all.
Sounds like a typical DJ's night.
Yeah, so the roster is something that like me and my friends started a couple years ago, like our first 21 summer to kind of like, I don't really know how to like say this, but make sure that we don't cross any lines and start any fights. And nobody wants a bad night, you know? Nobody wants to be like, oh my God, I just saw so-and-so hooking up with blah, blah, blah. Like, you don't want that.
So the roster started as sort of like a girl code.
A girl code.
Yeah, completely girl code. So for a while, it was kind of just like word of mouth, like, oh, he's on my roster, like, and you know, like, it's basically dibs. Like, you can't do something with someone that somebody called dibs on. Like, we learned that when we were like 5 years old.
And if you break the code, what happens?
So, if you break the code, then you have to pay the fucking fine.
All right, so there's money involved. All right, start from the beginning of how this all started. I want to know what made this, like, come about, the whole thing. Go.
Okay. So like I said, like it was mainly just so like nobody's like toes would be stepped on and like no fights would go out and like everyone would just get their fair pick with the guys that they want. You know, that's all you want.
There's a lot of meat out there. So
I have a quick question about it too.
Yeah, of course.
What if you called dibs on somebody, but they wanted your friends and you never hooked up with them? Is that allowed to happen?
So that's when you would do a trade.
So now there's a trade going on.
Okay. So fast forward 2 years, and there was complications, like crossing lines, and I was
flash
like,
back 2 years. You said flash forward.
No, from like the time I
from
like,
when she made it.
Okay.
Yeah. So fast forward 2 years to the end of last summer, when lines were crossed, and we're like, okay, this needs to be written. This needs to be done so nobody has, like, because we have gone home from nights before that my friends have been like, oh, I hooked up with this person, and then he was like, oh, I did too.
Yeah.
And that's, like, the worst.
So we're trying to avoid fights here.
Avoid the fights.
Avoid the drama.
Exactly. So I made this template and a set of rules. And they were literally written in the Bible. Like, everyone had to abide by it. I didn't care if they wanted to or not. Like, that was it. So, with the roster, there is 2 different rosters. There's the summer roster and the winter roster.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like a summer league and a winter league.
It's literally seasonal.
Baseball versus football, come on. Like, duh. So, because, like, obviously, like, you go to different places, especially down the shore. Like, I'm from Jersey, so in the summer, we obviously hang down the shore and, like, go to DJs and Bar A.
And that's when you see all the Staten Island boys.
Staten Island meat.
Yes, Staten Island meat. Come on, that's all Staten Island's good for. Oh.
Another person is going to treat us like a piece of meat.
Like a piece of meat. That's all I feel like.
No, but for real. So, then, like, in the winter, we go to Porta. And there's no
Heard
Staten
good things
Islanders
about
there.
Porta. I want to try it this one.
Porta's in Jersey. What part of... So
Asbury.
you live in
It's
Jersey.
Asbury.
What part of Jersey you live in?
I live in Toms River.
Toms River, okay.
So, technically still down the shore, but
Nice.
not as down the
You
shore.
ever run
as
into
this.
JWoww?
No. But I do go to her nail salon.
Oh,
So that's
didn't even know she had one.
Yeah. Well, not her nail salon, the place
The
that
one
she
she
goes
goes.
to.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right,
That'd be
so
really cool.
so rosters. So you put in guys that you want on the roster, or you put guys that you've hooked up with on your roster, or both?
So it's technically both. So you have a set of how many guys. So you always decide on a number.
Okay.
For the winter, typically we do 12.
12.
For the summer, we do 15.
15 because there's a lot of meat.
There's a lot of
plethora
meat.
of meat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the way the roster works is it's like fantasy football, basically. So everyone takes turn going around the room picking their players.
it's a draft.
Right.
Yes,
so
it's
no
a
one. It
draft.
can't be one-sided. You get to pick who you want.
Is it a snake draft? It's like whoever's last goes twice in a row, and it goes wrapped
No.
around the other way? Wow.
It's just she goes, now I go, now
Oh,
you
so,
go.
Yeah.
so when you have the number one pick, you really have like the number one pick.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because the number one pick in fantasy football is not that good.
No.
Because you don't go again to like 19.
Right. So how do you get the number one pick to pick your guy that you want first on your roster?
So we just use like an online generator and
That's
type
official.
everyone's names in, and everyone gets a number, and we just go by that. So like one name at a time in a row, and you compile the list. So there are exceptions and there are speculations. So everyone has like their pick, obviously. But if somebody's like, oh, actually, like, I'll trade you this guy for this guy. And if both parties agree, you can trade as long as you didn't already fuck them.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter who you fucked before the list. Makes no difference. Once they're on the list and you fuck them, like, once you already made the list, they're locked in.
So
So
once
if
a
you
guy,
fuck them and they go on the list, you
have to fuck them again.
to complete them off the list.
Yes.
Wow.
so you fuck them on the list, they become locked in.
Locked in. They can't be taken off. They can't be traded.
Okay.
And it also takes away a spot. So, like, say, I mean,
What's the roster size?
the roster is 15.
Well, 15 for the summer.
15 for the summer.
Summer.
So, say I locked in 14. I mean, again, this is not for hoeing out. Like,
Okay.
it's just for girl code. So, that's pretty not as accurate as something that would happen. But say that happened. For that last spot, I would only have one spot. So, like, I would have to constantly be, like, checking people in and out if I wanted to hook up with them. And the first person to, whoever at the end of the summer has the most people wins the pot of money. So every single time you get a player locked in, you have to give $5 into the pot.
Okay. So once someone's locked in, you put $5 in the pot. Where's the
Everybody-
pot?
In our house.
Oh, so it's down the shore type of thing.
Yeah.
It's in the house. It's locked, whatever.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Is the order of the names on your roster like the order of who you want most, or is it not in any order?
It's not
particular
really
order.
in any order.
Because like if some girl is going to trade you their number 15 for your number 3, it's not a fair trade.
No, like the numbers don't really matter.
Okay.
I mean, at least not for my roster. I can't really speak on the other girls if they put it in a specific order, but I didn't. It's kind of just like who I thought of in that moment,
Right.
and then who I've traded, who I've taken out, replaced. I mean,
Crazy, an online generator is determining who they're fucking.
It's like in baseball with the lineups, like you put your cleanup hitter, your big cleanup hitter, like the kid with the
Right.
monster cocks going forth.
Number 4.
Number one's Speedy Gonzalez. He comes in 4 seconds.
Number 2 or 3 is just like the solid, like reliable contact hitter. Gonna get on base, gonna do the job.
Gonna do the job, gonna make you calm.
Might win a batting title.
Right. Then you
Right.
go 7, 8, 9. All of a sudden you're like, I'll lock them in later.
3 through 6 is like the meat. That's
meat.
like the good meat of
Yeah.
the lineup.
Like runners in scoring position, like,
But you need 1 and 2 to set the table.
well, oh yeah, 1 and 2 is like, reliable.
Right.
The meat of the order is like when you when you haven't had sex in a while and it's all of a sudden, oh, they're around. I think we
Yeah,
get something
yeah.
done here and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like you said, you have sex with the person on the list. It locks them in. you lock 15 spots in, what happens?
You win all the money.
You win all the money in the pot.
Yeah. So if, per se, like, I had a guy named Jim on my list.
Who the fuck is Jim?
I would never talk to a Jim, probably. But, like,
Sorry
if
for all
I
the
did... Nothing against Jims. Just,
Nothing.
you know, I like to keep it Italian. So, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, say I was to fuck Jim. And my friend went along and fucked Jim. Even though he was on my list. Even if he was locked on or, like, not. If he was still on my list, the girl would have to give out $20 to the pot. And I could take somebody from their list.
Okay, so there's a little twist. That's like a girl code infraction. Like, they went against the fucking all the rules.
So now it's the punishment.
So the punishment is $20 in the pot, and you could trade the person.
You wouldn't trade. You would literally just take it.
Oh,
So,
they have
like,
to take it off your list. Does that make 16 on their list now?
No, I could take someone off their list.
Okay.
Well, it technically would be a trade because their name would be locked in onto their list, but I would have full range to take anybody, no
Even
matter.
the ones that are locked in. Mm-hmm. So that's the exception with the whole locked in thing.
Yeah.
So if they fucked someone on your list, it doesn't count towards their roster, but now they go on the roster because
Yeah.
you traded?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So it's like a mandatory trade that can't be vetoed.
Yeah.
That's like you could trade a first-round pick for anything.
For anything.
Exactly.
it's crazy.
Like if they're so a couple weeks ago, there was a guy that was like trying to like come on to me, and he's on somebody else's list, so I couldn't do it. I literally said to
Did
his
you
face,
want it?
He was cute.
What
but,
if,
like,
what if someone's coming on to you, you make a quick like trade deadline call, you call them up, can we make a quick trade?
Yeah, you can 100% do that.
That's sick.
That's like when you get the update on your phone, like someone's about to get traded.
Yeah, imminent.
That's what their thing
Trading
is.
is imminent. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Imagine I have to step away for a second, going to make a phone call to make a trade.
No, I've said to this guy, like, dead ass, I was like, you're not my roster. I can't do anything with you. Sorry.
But what if it's someone you guys don't know and they're not on the roster?
So if you have all your, like, spots locked in. So, like, okay, if I go to my roster and I have every single name filled in,
Okay, I'm looking at the roster right now.
I would have to take off a name, pick a name, and replace it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically it.
So if you meet a guy at a bar, can you take off a name right then and there and replace it with his and just get a quick fuck?
Yeah, 100%. But they would be locked
That's
in
a
for
little
good.
They'd be locked in
Yeah, it's
because
locked
you
in.
did it that night. What if you fucked them, you don't put them on the roster?
You can't do that.
You can't do that. And
And
what
if
if you do that?
Well, then...
No one has to know about it?
Well, I mean, we all tell each other everything, so technically everyone would know.
If you take someone off the roster, can you put them back on ever?
Yeah,
Okay.
as long as they're not on anybody else's roster. Because once they're off the roster, they're fair trade. Like, they're
Wow.
literally anybody can just add them.
And just remove someone off there.
Like,
Wow.
since we've made it, we've been, like, editing it, doing it all because we haven't locked in.
Okay, so now you have the group chat with the girls. How many girls, by the way?
It's with 5 girls.
It's with only 5 girls? Okay, so the league is starting very soon.
Is anybody running away with it right now? The
Like,
competition?
Yeah,
winning?
running away with it. Like locking in at a high record.
Not really. Like, the most has been 2, I think, or 3. 3. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
We've got 2 months for 12 more spots.
exactly.
All right, so you have the group chat with the girls that are in it, the 5 girls, whatever. When you do meet a new guy that you don't know, some fresh fucking meat, do you text in the group chat, taking so-and-so off my roster, putting so-and-so on?
Like, does it have to be confirmed by the league
Right.
before anything happens?
So, it's, like, we haven't really, like, had those kind of moments that much. Like,
Okay.
whenever we have decided to, like, edit our list, we've all been together.
Okay,
So,
okay. So it can't be just a sporadic night.
It's like us. We wouldn't really be separate.
yeah.
True.
Like, I'd literally, like, look over to, like, my friend and be like, oh, I'm taking this guy off. Like, is that a good
Right,
like,
do you
thing?
confirm it in your group chat? Do you tell it?
It's that
Because
doesn't
what
have
if
to be
that guy that you
confirmed.
took off is now talking to one of the girls and
Yeah, my thing is, what if it gets weird? It's like you're all talking to the same group of people. You're talking and advancing, but literally as you guys were talking, like, does one of your friends have to say, I'm taking this off and adding this on right now for it to be approved? Because, like, what if you're both like, I wanted to take them off and add them on?
I mean, you do talk about it. Like, you don't have to be, like, approving it, like, calling my friend and, like, that's, like,
Because,
not
like,
fair.
it could get sketchy. Like, you're talking to this guy, and one of your friends could just be like, I'm adding that name to my list right now, so it's an infraction on them, and then I could take someone off their list. Like, it could get really shady.
It could.
So no fights have started over the roster
So this was to
Knock on
protect girl
wood.
code. I think it could really disrupt it a little bit.
Yeah. If you go outside, it depends who you're working with. See, there's
Yeah.
5 people now. They probably have a strong thing going. If more people start getting onto it, you're
Ruffle
going to hear
feathers.
different stories.
There's
Yeah.
already 75 guys' names on this little group chat on rosters.
That's quick math.
That was,
Good.
Yeah, I'm good at math. I'm good with numbers.
Oh, cool.
yeah.
That's good to know.
So
for the
if we did 75 times 5, like the money wise, what would it be, like 30,
I
375?
think that's 475.
I'm terrible
No.
at math.
No,
Okay.
it's
375.
375.
It would be 370, so it's not a huge pot.
But still, it's like incentive, you know?
It's something to
I mean,
stick by.
you fucked the most guys and you got $400. Like, that's a pretty good
Yeah,
prize.
Exactly.
So I think we covered everything on the rosters.
No, do you have anything else to add?
Any other rules?
What's been your best roster experience this summer?
I actually haven't had any.
Wow.
Haven't had any roster experiences.
like
I mean,
memorable?
yeah. So, I actually wasn't going to do a roster this summer. But a couple weeks ago, I got really angry, and I was like, you know what? We're doing a freaking roster. Like, I'm done. And I brought everyone on because, like, all the girls that I live with right now, we, like, kind of, like, have, like, since being here became really, really close, which is awesome.
Okay.
So I, like, introduced the roster to them. It's,
they
like,
loved
with a
it.
completely different set of, like, people that I normally would do it with.
Okay. What's the most you've ever done it with?
Probably, like 7.
7? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot of meat.
Wonder how the winter gets.
That's 105
Never been
guys.
drama with it?
Not the winter.
That's crazy.
The winter is not bad. The summer is definitely more because I feel like everyone whores out a little bit more in the
Yeah,
summer.
yeah. Oh, definitely.
I can't imagine us making trades like this with all the guys in our house.
No.
No shot.
But it would be fun.
It'd be entertaining.
But we wouldn't do that.
No.
We're not like that. I haven't had sex in 30 years.
I would never
Maybe.
name 15 girls that I want to go after or hook up with.
Never.
There's like
I don't even know
I
15
don't do rosters. What I do is like there's obviously multiple people you talk to at summer, but there's always like there's that number one that you like over everybody else.
Number one
and you
baby?
keep talking, yeah, your number one baby. We spoke about that. There's that number one. You always got a 2 fighting for that one spot, but there's always that number one that just like has the throne and takes precedence over everybody else that you kind of like talk to or like
And
see
that
out
number
and hang
one
out
spot
with.
could vary.
It could vary.
Yeah.
You have a number one?
Yes, I do have a number one.
Yeah, me too.
Me
I have a
too.
number one too, yeah.
That's crazy.
But just because, like, you have this many people on the roster doesn't mean that you have to fuck 15 people. Like, I've had, like...
I would never.
No. Exactly. That'd be an absurd thing.
Yeah,
but
never.
having more spots gives you kind of more leeway, you know? So that's why we up the stakes for the summer because there's so many more people. So, like, you can always, like, switch in and out.
The stakes, like a fucking casino.
The Belmont Stakes.
That's sick. This is sick. This is actually sick.
I like it. It really is like fantasy.
Yeah.
It is.
It makes things fun. There's no sports, so why not just fucking treat people like
Fantasy
Exactly.
fucks.
fantasy?
Fantasy fucking.
But it really sucks, though, if you have to lock somebody in and the fuck wasn't worth it. Because you're like, I could have used that for something so much better.
What a waste.
Yeah, but if you don't think you're going to get to 15, you'll have the spots.
Yeah.
No, but, like, even just to have the people on your list, like, your friends just can't go after them.
Does a guy become more attractive to you when one of your friends or someone just you know of, like, and you talk to them, they're like, oh, that kid fucked, like, good? Does that...
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like, there's been guys that, like, we've met down here that, like, you either know just, like, they fuck, or, like, people have been like, oh, my God, like, he has a huge dick, and you're like, I mean, let me check that one out.
I always wanted to know that. When you do have, like, a night with a guy and it is good, do you, like, appreciate that text the day after, the night of, like, a couple of days go by? Like, what turns you, like, what gets you, like, into a guy after a good night of sex?
Okay, so it definitely depends on the circumstance. Like, if it's somebody that, like, I was talking to, like, texting beforehand or whatever, I would normally send, like, the message, like, hey, I had a really nice time tonight. Like
I like
that
that.
night.
You say it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say it. But if it was somebody that I literally, like, met that night and then, like, hooked up with them, I would not contact them again until they contacted me.
Wow.
Okay.
And it also depends, like, on how the time was. Like, if I would want that text like the next morning. I personally like to have like a consistent thing. Like, I don't really like mixing it up and like doing all that. I'm not saying relationship or wise at all, because like fuck that. But I do like to keep it somewhat consistent. And
Consistency is everything.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So you fuck someone.
yeah.
They weren't on a roster. Now they're on it.
Yeah.
It wasn't good sex. Do you try to fuck them again just to get that mark off the roster? Because this is a competition.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're locking them in, so it kind of sucks.
Yeah, no, exactly. So
She could
like
trade
to do it
him,
more
though.
than once, though.
She could try to trade him.
Unless
She could be like, oh,
Or she could just get a quick hit and knock someone off the roster for the competition.
I could. I know, I totally could do that.
It's crazy.
But like, I don't like only fucking once. Like, I can't.
Even if it was bad.
Even if it was bad,
give him
like,
another shot.
I'll give him one more shot.
I like that. I feel like
They put a lot of stock into it. If it was good, I feel like they love it. And if
I
it was
like
bad,
making a good first impression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
I think we both
Same.
talked about we like how the girl feels more than us, really.
Yeah.
For the good review, and you want to know that you did a good job.
Yeah.
Like,
And then, as you go on, it's more, you just switch shit up. Like, it's not the
Yeah.
same experience.
obviously, when it's a second, third, fourth time, and they know like you had a really good first
Right, like
time,
you
they
can turn
know,
it up when the time fucking comes.
Well, they know that you could fuck. Like the first time
Like,
was good.
fuck.
Then it could just like second, third time's like a wild card. They already know you could fuck.
Well, like, girls also, like, you have to take into consideration when you're a girl that, like, different things go into how good a guy, like, fucks. Like, if he's been drinking a lot that night, if he's been doing other things that night, like, everything like that. Like, when was the last time he had sex? So you can't really judge it off the first time.
See, you're very understanding. Because if I haven't had sex in, like, months, which is
you
all
have,
the time.
yeah.
If I haven't had sex in months, and then I go have sex, like, feeling a fucking vagina is like a fucking orgasm right away.
It's like drinking water after being in the sun for 8 hours without
That's
water.
a great analogy. Yeah. That's why you gotta fucking, guys out there, you gotta jerk off before you're gonna have sex.
Have to jerk off.
Gotta jerk off.
Yeah.
Gotta clean out the pipes.
Literally, though, so jealous of guys that you guys can come so fast.
Right.
It's not fair. Actually, not fair.
What's the quickest way for you to come sex position wise?
I've only came from sex one time in my entire
Crazy.
life.
Sex, but like, what about other shit? Like,
Well, like getting eaten
Getting eaten
out.
out.
Okay, actually, a lot of people shit on me for this, like especially my friends. For some reason, I really like 69ing, and they like don't, and I don't get it. But that is like my favorite thing because like, yes, like you do have to focus on like giving good head, obviously, but like it kind of puts the focus out of your head. Like, am I gonna come? Am I gonna come? Because that always fucks me up.
what, with the head?
Yeah, no. With like getting eaten out, like thinking in my head, like, am I gonna come yet? Am I gonna come yet? And then I never do.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what, I don't know, maybe I'm doing it wrong. I do a lot of foreplay before I start eating out.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You have to. But I do have to say, when you're eating a girl out, I hate when a guy puts their finger in. I hate that.
Really?
Wow.
That's my thing.
I absolutely hate that.
That's my thing.
Yeah, I will push your hand away.
But is the guy using it as like a cock where he's going in and out?
The fingers
Or-
are the fingers. The dick's the dick. And
Exactly. You
people have to know
can't use it as
Yeah.
a dick. You can't use your fingers as a dick.
that. No.
No, true.
Unless you have a pencil dick.
A pencil dick. There's a certain way to fucking do the Captain Hook where you hook it and you touch
Hit
the
the
inner
G-spot.
side
Yeah.
of the clitoris, which is the G spot. And then I would use my mouth on the clit and like suck it. But then again, you don't like fingers, so
Oh,
like
you really
that.
sound like you know what you're doing. For someone who hasn't had sex in months, I mean, you sound.
I could
educated.
talk about it. I just can't.
Yeah.
I just don't deliver.
That Pornhub Premium treating you well.
Yeah, but no fingers at all. Like no guy could change your mind on that. Like that's just set.
I mean, I'm always open for somebody to try to challenge that,
Right. Why were you looking at Ryan when you said that?
but I wasn't looking at just.
She likes making eye contact when she talks. What do you mean?
Give me some turn-ons. Give me some more turn-ons on the bed. In the bed.
Oh, okay, turn-ons in the bed.
Yeah.
Whew.
And does it things before the bed like
Oh,
come into play?
100%.
Alright, so it's
So, I'm like really okay. Obviously, first impression, you're gonna go off the way somebody looks, if they're physically attracted to you. Because if they're not physically attracted to you, like personality-wise, like, yes, that can play a huge factor in things, but, like, you have to have the physical attraction there, like, no matter
100%.
what. And, like, no matter if people say that's shallow, whatever, I don't care. You have to.
I agree.
So I definitely have, like, a little bit of a more interesting type, like, that I would typically be attracted to. Of course, I'm attracted to, like, you know, the Staten Island Guidos. I mean, not too juiced head, because then, like, please calm down.
Yeah.
Like, your veins about to pop open on me, but
So me and Mike look like Staten Island Guidos, like typical Staten Island.
not to an extent. Like,
So she's not interested in us. All right, keep going.
I mean, I didn't say that, but so I like skinny, tall, tattoos, that kind of vibe. They always have big dicks. They always do. It's like a proven fact.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
But it's not like why I go for them, but like it definitely helps.
So it's like they haven't eaten in fucking weeks.
Yeah,
type of
like
skinny.
if you look like you're gonna keel over like after one more cigarette, like wow,
That's
daddy,
fucking hot.
like I love you.
Wow.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Destroy me. Please.
Degrade me.
Exactly.
You can count all his ribs in his stomach.
Oh, I love that. Oh, when their hip bones like stab you when they're like on top. Like,
You're a sick
oh.
fuck. You're a sick fuck.
No, so.
But if they're so skinny, you could fucking snap them in half in the bedroom.
Oh yeah,
But
when a
you
guy
like
tells me
do you
he
like being
weighs less than
dominant?
me, fucking love it.
You just like
Oh.
being. That's why you like them fucking
Yeah.
skinny.
Yes, I'm a very dominant person.
Okay.
But we'll get into that.
All right.
Slow
all
your,
right.
slow your horses there.
We're starting off slow.
He's getting excited.
Starting off slow. What? Okay, keep going. Anyway.
So anyway, I love good teeth. You have to have good teeth because like if we're vibing, you're gonna be laughing a lot. It's again superficial, but it's good.
Yeah.
And a jawline. I don't know why. Like my mom taught me this
Mm-hmm.
for like when I was really young. She's like, they have to have a strong jawline.
Mike, you have a nice jawline.
Thank you.
Jawline.
You ever see that thing on Instagram where they're chewing the ball? They advertise this ball you chew to make your jawline more
Never
chiseled.
seen it.
It's actually really weird. I don't think it works. I used to chew granola bars and fuck up my jaw when I was little.
Really?
Yeah. You never had like a bad experience with your jaw? You get lockjaw?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. It's not fun.
No,
You
can't
gotta
be.
push through it though.
Can't imagine.
No, the worst is when you get like a foot cramp, and then like you're like, fuck, like this sucks.
Foot cramp. That's
cramp.
that's bad. I get it
bad.
just laying down. I'm like, no. Just try to stay still until it's over.
But like other than that, like I also like, so, you know, like chivalry. I don't really know how to say
Chivalry?
that word. Yeah, like don't be cheap. Like obviously, I don't expect like if it's just like a hookup. Obviously, this doesn't matter. But like if somebody's like actually like talking to me, like if we're going out to get food, like you know,
What?
offer to pay for my food, even if I say no, like. That's a huge turn on because
Yeah.
if you can't support me now, then how are you going to support me if this does go long term? Because you don't know who you're going to fall in love with.
I think all guys should know about that. Like, you have to pay. Like, be generous. That's a huge turn on. I pay for friends like that are girls.
Exactly, like
Just
my guy
girls
friends,
that I
same
have
thing.
no intentions with. I'll buy them fucking dinner.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. It's morally good. It's karma that'll come back to you. I feel at least.
Turn-ons in the bed.
Turn on the bell. Let's
Let's
get
get right
down
to
and
it.
dirty. Down and
Ooh,
dirty.
Okay. So turn on the bed. So like I said before, I'm a very dominant person in bed. Like I will literally be like, go here, do this,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. Like,
So you tell a guy what you like.
100%.
Okay.
I do not hold back in that
I like
factor.
being transparent.
Even if a guy like is like, oh, did you come? Like, no, I didn't. Like I'm not gonna lie and say that I did.
Mike, you ever ask a girl during sex, did you come?
No.
Me neither.
Unless I've
don't-
hooked up with her many times and I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know when a girl
got
comes.
a mix.
Yeah.
You know when a girl fucking comes. It's not when you're screaming, oh, fuck! But it's like you could feel the tense, like, fucking...
Speaking of, give us your best moan.
Oh.
We want
We won't look at you. If you want us to look away, we
Should
can.
we warm her
You
up?
can look at me if
Like,
you
we
want.
don't-
It's fine. I mean,
You want to look at her?
Wow, that might make the moan be more genuine, to be honest.
Oh, God, fuck, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna... Oh, right there.
okay, ready?
That's a good one.
It's looking great.
That sounded
You
realistic.
really got into that.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
you know
faked
what?
it a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
no,
fake it a lot.
I've had to practice. Yeah.
Wait, do you fake it during sex too?
Oh, 100%. Like,
All right, let's get into it one more time. Go ahead, because you got into it and I did.
Give me. Let's get a moan with one of the lines you would use. Like,
Yeah, like something you would say during sex.
okay.
You say the guy's name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
sometimes.
gonna say names here.
do you have any special names you like to call? Like baby, daddy, like anything?
You don't say
Not
daddy?
really. Oh, yeah. No, I say daddy, but
Okay, go
like,
ahead.
there's no specific like one that
Gotcha.
I like
Okay.
hold on to.
Okay. So here you go. We're going with the daddy line.
Give us a moan and a line, or a line and a moan, or both.
Okay. Let me think of this. Okay. Do I feel so wet for you, Daddy?
I just came in my pants.
I love
I
that.
fucking shot the biggest
I
load.
love that. Wow.
Jeez, I'm sweating. Not because the AC's not on,
I'm
but because
actually
Arianna
dying
just-
right now.
I know. Unfortunately, we can't have the AC on
have a
while we
chub.
have the show. You do?
Yeah.
Is it gonna flip the table over?
Not yet.
All right. All right. Before we go, we ask everyone. I need a virginity story.
A virginity story?
Yeah.
My virginity story sucks. Can I just tell you like a good sex story?
What do you think, Roy?
If the good sex story is more juicy than the virginity, yeah.
Oh, 110%.
We need juice. Like we talk about meat all the time. We need
like
juice.
Juicy.
Oh,
Like
this
when you
is-
stab a piece of meat.
This like I could have gone to jail for.
Oh, let's go.
Buckle up.
Okay. So it was my 21st birthday. I was in Mykonos, Greece. Yeah. So I was like wearing my sash, like I was like all done up, and obviously you could spot me as being an American from a mile away. Mile away. So I'm walking down like the fucking streets of Mykonos and with my two friends, and a promoter comes out of a club and was like, oh my god, like, it's your birthday? And I'm like, yes. They're like, oh, you're American? I'm like, yeah. They're like, come in. He set us up with a table of a handle of Grey Goose, all just because, well, because why not? And
Because you guys were hot. Just
yeah,
saying.
Fucking
I
hot.
didn't want to say it, but if you want to go there, and he was like, "You just have to like attract guys to come in." We were like, "Oh, easy money." So a group of delicious men,
Delicious.
come in. Delicious.
Like we're talking soccer team, delicious.
Soccer team doesn't even go there.
Oh, we're talking about like models, like Calvin
We're
Klein
talking
models
about
type
like
of people.
Calvin Klein on a yacht, like sailing in like the Pacific Ocean
gold.
type thing. Yeah,
Okay.
beautiful.
Diamond.
I don't even know if that was like a real hot scenario, but
Would me and Mike fit in on that boat?
They'd kick us off.
Yeah.
Would they kick us off?
nah, I'd let you guys stay.
Okay.
Ooh. All right.
Anyway, so my friend literally has a video of this guy walking in, and I was just like jaw dropped, everything. And like I was trying to figure out like a way to like speak to him. Like I didn't even know if he spoke English. So like I looked at him and I was just like, "Hi, do you have a cigarette?" Like that was the first thing that I could think of. So he came over and we started talking, and he was from Mykonos, like he born and raised there, whatever. My other two friends were talking to his other two friends, so it was like solid. An hour goes by. He turns to me. He was like, "Do you want to take a ride on my motorcycle?" I'm like, "Okay, go on a motorcycle in Greece with a random stranger that I don't know, probably die. I don't know. Should I do it? Yeah, I'm gonna do it."
Yeah.
So we go on the motorcycle.
Were you guys drinking?
Just a little bit.
You sick fuck.
That sounds safe.
Drinking and driving on a motorcycle with a stranger.
All right.
Okay,
In
listen.
another country.
This is the story we needed.
So he drives me to a cliff.
Right.
Okay. And I was like, this is where I die. This is where he pushes me off, and they have to find
Were you
my
panicking
body.
or not even?
A little bit, but at the same time, I was kind of just like, fuck it. It's my 21st birthday. Like, do it for the story.
Do it for the fucking story. That's a prime do it for the story.
It
moment.
is. So we hopped off the motorcycle, and like my ankle like touched something, and like it felt like it like I got scratched. So I was like, didn't really think
Was it his
anything
cock?
of it. I wish no. So it was Greek Easter like that weekend. So like there was festivals and stuff going on everywhere. We hooked up on the cliff with fireworks going on over our heads.
That's pretty sick.
And you didn't get married. That's the most
insane.
romantic
Wait,
thing I've ever heard.
hook up as in sex or?
Yeah, sex.
Oh, so you consider hooking up being sex?
Yeah.
Okay. Hook up could be make
I'll
out.
say make out
Right.
if
Right.
like if it's making
Okay.
out. So the story actually doesn't end there.
Okay.
A year later, I was at Rutgers and I was at a bar and some girl came up to me and she was like, "Oh my God, you're Arianna?" And I was like, "Hey, like autograph? I don't know." And she's like, "No, like I've seen your Finsta." I'm like, "That's troubling." And she was like, "You hooked up with a guy in Greece named Zeno." And then I was like, "Yeah, like I did. Why? Like, why do you say that?" She's like, "I made out with him when I was in Greece." And I was like, "No way, like that's sick, like high five,
Right,
like
right.
cool."
Eskimo
He was
sisters.
like, she's like, "No." So I found out that he was 16.
Young. Yes, I knew it. I fucking knew it.
He was how old?
16.
16.
16. He
That's
told
how
me
old-
he
how
was
old did he look?
24.
He looked older?
Looks so old.
16.
16 years old. I texted him and I was like, "You were 16 when we fucked?" Like,
He fucks.
I just got chills. I just got
fucks.
chills. 16. I was fucking twiddling my thumbs.
and I had to take Plan B from him. Imagine I got pregnant with a
came inside.
16-year-old baby.
Did he make you come?
Not from sex,
From what?
from eating me out.
Wow. Was
So is inside your favorite place for a guy to finish?
I mean, when I'm drunk, I definitely will suggest it.
Ooh.
But like, I need somebody to be like, "No, don't do that," because Plan B is very expensive. In Greece, actually, it's only $15. So I was gonna bring a bunch back for my friends, and I just never did.
favorite position?
Favorite position, I would definitely say would be doggy. But I also like the position that like when I'm really lazy and we're like in that like spooning position.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spooning position as
Little
in
sideways
facing
action?
each other?
No.
Spooning position as in he's hitting it from behind on the side.
Yeah.
I love that in the morning.
Yes.
Yo,
that is the morning
That's
position.
the morning
That's the
position.
morning
We're
position.
both
I'm, like,
still
half
tired,
asleep.
but we're like fucking mad horny, so we're just like a dead dog fucking
Especially
going at
if
each
other
other.
people are in the room and you're not trying to show like you have a fucking tent on your bed.
No, that's why I like sleeping like on the wall side of the bed because like I can have my feet there ready in the morning.
Wow. You planned it out the night before. You are sick.
You're sick.
Thank you.
Definitely
Thank
sick.
you. I take pride in it.
All right, and that's gonna wrap up episode 11. Arianna, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Now all around the world, people will know about girls' rosters.
Yeah, and they will also know that I fucked a 16-year-old.
In
so,
Greece.
In
Yeah,
Greece.
so this
that
is
was
quite the
fun.
eventful night.
Yeah, I love that.
Ryan, you got anything else?
No, I mean, I'm mind blown.
All right, this is episode 11. Do it for the stories.
Peace.